Hey guys, Cheri from The Watering Mouth here. I'm doing something really exciting that I've never done for you guys today. I'm sharing, I got permission from the people that were on this call, sharing one of the semi-private coaching calls that I do every month with my Berry Buddies level on Patreon. So I wanted to be able to give you guys an sort of an understanding of what this level does. It's one call a month, tons of instruction, so we get lots of really good lessons. Then I open it up for private coaching, but it's semi-private because everyone else can watch it, but it's just between me and the person who volunteers to get coached that day on whatever they're struggling with at that moment. And I coach in front of everyone on that group so we can all learn from the coaching and from the struggle, because we all kind of have the same struggles really when it comes down to it. So I wanted to share that with you so you could see what it was like in case you were interested in getting this type of coaching. I'm not really doing this type of coaching anywhere else besides this, plus my private coaching right now. So if you're interested in this kind of stuff, really it's mind-blowing, eye-opening. It's all my life coaching stuff put together with Eat to Live so we can learn the mindset. This is an example of what it's like. I've actually edited this down quite a bit. This session was actually about an hour and 10 minutes, and I'm just going to give you guys a snippet of it so you can see some of the stuff we go through in case you might be interested. So I hope you enjoy.
So the problem here is that we're not taught to deal with the discomfort of life. We're not taught to deal with the negative half of things. And so what we'll typically do is one of these three things. We'll either resist our emotions, we'll react to our emotions, or we will avoid our emotions. Typical diet advice is, hey, you're having a craving. Hey, you're having a negative feeling. You have a really bad desirous craving. Just go take a bath. Go for a walk. Learn to knit. Right? Have a glass of wine. Right? Who knows? Just avoid that feeling. Find something else to do. Or, oh, I'm going to make something really quick that's healthy and eat that really fast. We react to it, right? Or we push it away as if it's not even there. I'm just going to put on a podcast, right? Or I'm going to watch TV, or I'm going to do something else. Versus what actually really works long-term to create consistency is feeling, processing, and allowing the emotions. This is the one thing in our society that we're not told to do. We're not even told we have this option. We're told to do all this stuff. Every freaking diet plan you'll ever see is, here's 20 things you can do when you're craving, right? Eat celery instead of this, as if that's going to work. It doesn't work. If it worked, it would work, right? Go for a walk. Phone a friend. What happens if your friend isn't around, right? Like me and my coaching, I always say to prospective clients, I'm going to teach you how to do this yourself so you don't need me anymore. That's my job, is to put me out of a job, right? My job is to teach you how to be able to do this forever. Because if I don't, you just got to pay me forever. That's the only way you're going to be able, I mean, that'd be a great business model for me, right? But like, that's how I would be like serving my clients, is if they had to pay me forever for it to work. If accountability worked, it would work. It would work for everybody. That's why these methods don't work, because we're not taught how to just accept that life is half hard and it feels icky half the time. And that's totally okay. And we're just going to feel it, process it, and allow it to happen. So I have some other lessons in Patreon that you guys can check out about how to allow emotions and these kinds of things, and how to allow cravings and stuff like that. But I wanted to give you kind of an understanding of your feelings and how important they are and what they'll do for you or not do for you, just so you can start to open up the thoughts about it. Now is the point where we just open it up to you guys. Tell me, first of all, what are your thoughts about this? What are your reactions?
A lot of new information. It's good stuff, though.
Yeah.
Really making me think about why I do this, why I do that. Why did I buy a whole bunch of Halloween candy? It's sitting over there on my dresser.
It's for the kids.
My weakness is candy and salt.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
So,
Anything else?
Empowering.
Go ahead,
It
Neha.
is empowering to know that you can kind of freeze the sensation and then decide how you're going to respond to the sensation with a thought.
Yeah, that's a great point. All right, awesome. I'm glad you guys got something out of it. It's funny because every time I go to teach something, I always think to myself, man, I could have just taken 1/10 of this and spent 4 hours on it, right? Like there's so much depth to each one of these points that I made. So pick one of them and start to look at it in your life. So I'm going to open it up to Christie for like a little bit of one-on-one coaching real quick. So Christie, do you want to talk about the Halloween candy, or what's the thing that you kind of stress about or you struggle with the most right now?
just staying consistent. I just don't understand why and I hate to use the word diet. I say it and it makes my skin cringe, makes my hair stand on end. I don't like to use that word, but
Yeah.
I've done probably everything you can think of, but this Eat to Live it just feels right. It just is the first time it's felt like it's the right way to go, like 100%.
Yeah.
Why do I still, I guess it goes down to the thoughts about still falling off the wagon. Why can't I just eat my salad without putting more salt on it or whatever, Like I'm almost there. I'm real close.
Yeah. Why do you still fall off the wagon? What happens?
I guess I'm not taking time to think about, like she was talking about the Kit Kat, just going at it. And I guess I just do that. I don't even think about, I don't stop and take a moment and think, why do I feel like so another one of my nemesis is monster drinks. And I know they're horrible for me.
Okay.
Why can I just pass them up when I'm at the store? It's become a habit. I grab it.
So let's put you, well, let's just take that. It's a habit. Right? Monster drinks. Why else do you just grab them? Like, what are the thoughts that you have in your mind when you're at the store or whatever? What do you justify that with? What do you think about?
I justify it by saying I'm doing well on this other part. Like I go breakfast great, lunch great. I get to the afternoon and I don't know if it's the afternoon slump or what, but that's the hardest for me is dinner. And so I guess I just feel like I'm doing so well on this other part. What's the harm in having the monster? But I feel like when I indulge in that, it gives me more cravings. I don't know if it's the artificial sweetener or what in it, but I do have more cravings, that toxic hunger whenever I'm indulging, even in just a drink.
Yeah, as we know from Eat to Live, just education, that it's the lack of nutrients, right? It's the lack of micronutrients that creates more cravings. So absolutely, whatever we eat that's off plan is going to contribute to more off plan eating because you're just not getting the nutrients. The nutrients, getting way more nutrients instead is going to reduce cravings even more. And then whatever's left over is what we do with this thought stuff, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So let's so you've got this question going in your mind, which also kind of brings up ideas of like, what's wrong with me, right? Like there must be something wrong with me.
Yeah. If I know what I need to do, and like you said, I'm pretty sure it's going to make me feel amazing. Why do I keep doing the wrong thing?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to turn this into a statement. There's something wrong with me. There must be something wrong with me. Okay. There must be something wrong with me. When you think that thought, so I want you to go into this land of thinking like you're a monster, you bought it, you're drinking it, whatever, and you have this thought like, there must be something wrong with me. What is an emotion, a one word emotion that comes up when you think this thought? Something like, frustrated or angry or curious or down on myself or what, like, if you can think of one word of a feeling that you have when you think the thought, there must be something wrong with me. What's a feeling that comes up?
I would just, frustration, just
Mm-hmm.
confusion. Yeah.
When you feel frustrated, so we're going to put that your circumstance here is that you're on a healthy eating journey.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's sort of informing all this stuff. You're on a healthy eating journey. You have a thought, because when you have the monster, there must be something wrong with me, which creates frustration. When you feel frustrated because you're thinking this kind of stuff, what kind of actions do you take around your food? When you feel frustrated, you're thinking there must be something wrong with me. What kind of actions do you take or not take about eating healthfully?
Sometimes I'll just say, well, I'm already messed up here. I might as well grab those Funyuns while I'm at it,
Yeah.
because that was my snack of choice.
Yeah.
I get the salt, and I get some sweet.
Mm-hmm. And I imagine there's not a lot of planning healthy foods or creating healthy foods or.
Right.
Yeah.
That's one of my issues as well, is not being prepared.
Yeah, exactly. No planning, no prepping, things like this. When you take these sets of actions, eating more off-plan foods, not planning, etc., what kind of results do you get with your healthy eating journey?
Couple steps backwards, I guess. Yeah. Not definitely not going the direction I need to go.
Yeah.
To stay on track.
And in fact, it kind of actually looks like there's something wrong with you, doesn't it? Because you're going steps backwards, right? Looks like there must be something wrong with you. When in fact, the only thing that's wrong here is your thought about yourself and your thought about your journey. What I want to show you is that when you think the thought, there must be something wrong with me, like I can't figure this out, what's wrong with me, what's going on? When you think this set of thoughts, there must be something wrong with you. This thought itself, frustration, off-plan eating, and steps backward. But it's not the healthy journey. It's the thought itself that's doing it. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
It's just thinking that there's something wrong with you that's creating frustration. It's not eat to live or, prepping or planning or anything. Like, it's none of this outside stuff. It's just it's not even buying the monster. Like, there's actually nothing gone wrong here. Those foods are engineered for you to buy more and more of them. I mean, there are scientists in rooms whose jobs it is to make you buy more. There's nothing wrong with you. There actually is not a single thing wrong with you. Actually, you're functioning exactly how you're supposed to. You were supposed to want more Monster when you drink Monster. You're supposed to want more ho-hos and ding-dongs and pizza and cookies and crackers and all. You're supposed to. That's how the brain works. There's nothing actually wrong with you. So if we know if we know eat to live is hard compared to pizza and cookies and crackers, we know it's a more difficult choice. Society, workplace pressure, husband pressure, kids pressure, brain pressure, caffeine addiction, lack of nutrients, blah, blah, blah. It's set up against us. So if we know there's actually nothing wrong with us, we're actually functioning exactly how we're supposed to. It's this story that there must be something wrong with us that's creating you eating more. It's just the story you have about yourself that there must be something wrong with me. But you know what? When you think that thought, it makes you feel frustrated. Mm-hmm. And when you feel frustrated, that's when you eat more. Mm-hmm. But what if we were able to automatically choose thoughts like, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm functioning exactly how I'm supposed to. It's just difficult. And it's okay for it to be difficult. Maybe I'm not going to get it today. Maybe I'll get it next month. Or maybe I'll just have a better day tomorrow. But the interesting part is that it's the story that's actually doing this whole thing and then making it look like there is something wrong with you. When the weight gain, the steps backwards, the eating off plan has nothing to do with anything but the story you're telling yourself. Because what we say and the way that this model works is that the results are proof for the thoughts. The results are actually evidence of the thoughts. So the couple steps backwards, like it's actually makes it appear that there is something wrong with you because you are gaining weight, because you are eating off-plan foods, because it's making it appear that way. But there actually is nothing wrong with you. So what happens is you end up proving this to yourself. Oh, there is something wrong with me. There is something wrong with me. There is something wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with you. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to do.
Interesting.
What do you think? What are you thinking?
I've never thought of it that way, actually. So I'm wondering, so when
So how do I fix it?
yeah, when I'm faced with that again, I don't want to just tell myself, it's okay, it's normal, or
Yeah.
eat something bad, or it's just this one time, I'll do better next time. It's normal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because that's the thing we worry about, right? Is that we're suddenly going to get super permissive and suddenly we're going to have 10 monster drinks a day, right? This is totally normal to want this. That's not what happens. Here's the fun part. This is what actually happens is just awareness of this. Because it's not, the correct thought is there's nothing wrong with me for wanting this, but it's not knowing the correct thought that leads to more monster. That's not actually how this goes, Christy, which is the fun, beautiful part. How this actually goes is now that you're aware that there's actually nothing wrong with you, now you can't hide behind monster. Now you know exactly what monster is. It's funny that it's called monster, right?
It is.
But now you know exactly what it is. So you can never go to the store again and buy monster going, I don't know what's happening. I'm just going to buy it, right? You can never do that again. I'm not telling you you're going to stop because food addiction is a rough animal. It's quite a monster. But once you start knowing exactly what you're doing, every time you reach for it, you're going to go, know exactly what I'm doing. And in a few months or a year or 4 years, I don't know. It's different for everybody. It could be next week. You will never buy Monster again. Because you can't hide behind it anymore. You know exactly what it is. You know that there's nothing wrong with you. You know that you're just being manipulated by a company to want this. That awareness is what changes you. Okay?
Good
Cool.
stuff.
We're going over time, but I'm gonna do it because I want to give Neha some time. Christy, if you have to go, I understand. But Neha, if you want to tell me a little bit about what your struggle is right now.
Sure.
She's like, I don't know. I'm scared.
I picked the challenge I'm comfortable talking about. So
Good.
the challenge is eating together as a family. So I cook pretty good meals, nice, healthy, but meals that are not good for me,
Okay.
but are good, overall healthy. So for my kids and for my father, who's 85 years old.
Okay.
So when I cook the meals for them, it's hard for me not to, first of all, eat while I'm cooking, especially if it's something I really like. But I'm mostly good with that. But it's kind of a bummer that I don't sit with them to eat anymore, because if I sit with them to eat, I will want to eat what they are eating. And also they kind of feel, they feel bad for me that, oh, you're missing out. So I'm ending up eating, sitting in the living room with the TV tray, eating by myself. And that's okay temporarily maybe, but in the long run, it doesn't feel good for them or for me. I'm just like, okay, here's the foods, and then I Say, see you later. Call me when you're done.
Is this true, you think? You can't sit with them because I'll eat what they're eating?
Yes, that's
You want
true.
to eat what they're eating? Yeah. When you think this thought, how do you feel? What's one word emotion that comes up when you think this thought? I can't sit with them because I'll eat what they're eating. Is it like frustrated, emotional, powerless, hopeless, happy, sad? What is it?
I'd say sad. Sad seems to hit the spot.
Mm-hmm. I can't sit with them because I will eat what they're eating. And it makes you feel sad. When you feel sad, because you think the thought, I can't sit with them because I'll eat what they're eating. When you're feeling sad because you're thinking that, what kind of actions do you take around your food when you feel sad?
I serve myself a big giant salad or smoothie or whatever it is, and I go sit in the living room with the TV tray and eat by myself.
Yeah.
Which I'm fine with, but it just doesn't feel, that's our family time to sit together and talk about stuff. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eat by self, salad alone. When you do these kinds of things, eating by yourself, having salad alone, what kind of results do you get in your healthy eating journey? What kind of results do you get?
I get good results. I get good results on
weight loss wise, right? But let's talk about how you feel about it.
Oh, I feel good about the weight loss.
Right, sure.
That's the most important thing right now.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. But then how do you feel about your ability to do this in all circumstances? Sort of your confidence maybe, or that kind of a thing?
Isolated a little bit.
Yeah, isolated. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you feel kind of isolated. What kind of results do you get in being able to eat with your family?
Oh, if I eat with my family?
What kind of results do you get in being able to do that? Like, are you improving that or not improving it?
Not improving it?
Yeah, not improving. We'll say togetherness.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Now I want to show you this, Neha, because this is the same exact thing that happened with Christie's. And by the way, it's always the same exact thing. The result is going to prove the thought. It's not actually that you can't sit with them. It's the thought that you can't sit with them that's creating feelings of sadness and isolation. It's actually like this story. I can't sit with them because I will eat what they're eating. What if I told you, if you eat with your family and you eat your salad and you do what you're supposed to do, you do what you want to do, I'll give you $1,000.
It would work for a while.
Really? If I gave you $1,000 every day, it would just work for a while? What if I said I gave you $20,000?
Okay, that would work every day.
Every day.
Time.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think I would actually give you $20,000 every day? No. But it would work for a while, wouldn't it? Like you could actually, so what I want to show you is even if there's no actual money, like if I said to you, Neha, I'm going to give you $50 tonight, right after the conclusion of your meal, if you just sit there and have your meal with them, would you do it? Just $50.
Yes, I would.
So let's talk about the meal part itself. When you're actually sitting there eating with your family, and I haven't given you the $50 yet.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that changed is the thought of receiving $50 to do it. But you didn't actually receive $50. You only thought you were going to get $50. Then what if afterwards I was like, just kidding. I just wanted to see if you'd do it. What if I did that? You have actually proven that you can sit with them and not eat what they're eating just based on a thought. There was no actual money transaction, no money involved, but you actually did do it. It was actually possible. Like, let's say something really bad happens in your life and you can't think of anything else but that bad thing. Like you have a dog and the dog dies or something, and then all emotion is gone and you're grieving and you're going through all this stuff, and you're like, you don't even have time for food drama because your thoughts are all about the dog, right? I bet that night you could also sit at the table with your family and just eat the stupid salad because you don't even care. All you think about is this dog, right?
That's true.
The only thing that changed in any of those situations was your thoughts about it. Your thoughts surrounding it. So therefore, you can have a different story during dinner and still eat the dinner with them. It's physically possible for you to eat dinner with your family and not eat what they're eating. It's totally possible. But what's happening is you're telling yourself that you can't. Well, we just proved you could, right? So this is a lie. This isn't real. That's not true. This is a story you've made up in your head about how you cannot sit with your family because you will eat what they're eating. But it is very physically and emotionally possible for you to do it in different circumstances. So therefore, it's possible anytime. You just have to have the right thoughts about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So but what I want to show you is that it's not, we can change this to family, like I'll take this off and go family eating dinner. So we're just talking about the family eating dinner together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we know you do well on your healthy eating journey, but the real issue is family eating dinner together. So it's not the fact that the family is over there eating dinner. That's not what's causing you to eat their dinner. What's causing you to eat their dinner, well, and when we need to change this actually, because this is going to be much more effective if we look at it like in this situation, eating by yourself, salad alone, things like this, not being together. If you really want, the family's over there eating dinner, it's not the family eating dinner that's causing you to be alone in all this. It's you telling yourself a story that you're not going to be able to not eat what they're eating. It's you telling yourself that story that's creating the sadness. And when you feel sad, you isolate yourself. And when you feel isolated, you don't improve this situation at all. So this is just a snake eating its tail, and it's always going to be. As long as you tell yourself this story, that it's impossible for me to sit there while they're eating with me out without me eating it.
Mm-hmm.
So why are you choosing to think this?
This reminds me of what you said. We're not used to being uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. So because I'm uncomfortable, I think my only choice is to get out of there. But if I can just deal with that discomfort for a while,
yeah,
and start to get used to, like you were saying, adapt to that situation, then I will be able to handle that discomfort. It won't be a big deal anymore.
Yeah.
Wow, you're good.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. But I want to give you a little warning. This isn't going to be easy at first. You can change your thoughts about it right now that it's easy if you want it, but that's really not an easy thing to do, is just change the thoughts and be like, oh, it's easy. But you can start looking for evidence that it's easy. You can start looking for evidence that it's doable. Like, how is this doable? Like, how could I think something totally different? So you might slip up for a while. And like I was saying with Christy, it might take you 2 months, 6 months, 4 years, 10 years, 20 years until you never eat their food. Could take you a week. Could take you one night. I have no idea. That part's up to you because it's all based on what you're thinking. It's 100% based on what you're thinking. If you're thinking you're going to eat their food, you're going to eat their food. Because thinking I'm going to eat their food leads to feelings of disempowerment, which leads to snacking, which leads to always eating their food. If you're thinking, nah, I got this. I can totally do this. If someone gave me $1,000, I could totally do it. So that proves I could. which might make you do it 50% of the time. But the more you work on this and the more you see what your story is, the months go by, the years go by, the whatever. Now you can be at any party, any social function, anything, and not eat their food. But the longer you sit in this story, the more you're going to be isolated. The more you're going to be sitting in front of the TV feeling more and more sad every time. And you're going to make it mean that there's something wrong with you.
Okay.
What do you think? What are your thoughts?
No, this is really, again, empowering, I think is the word. And you're absolutely right. It's physically possible for me to sit there and not eat what they're eating. And no matter what they are thinking, I can feel perfectly good about what I'm eating and offer them some.
Yep.
Right? Yeah, this is good. I'm going to try it tonight.
Yay!
Thank you.
And we'll see what happens, right? But this is a constant journey, and let's just keep going. Okay?
It's a good step.
Good. Okay, guys, we went way over, but I so appreciate your time and being here with me, and also for volunteering for me to call on you, even though you kind of didn't volunteer. I sort of made you do it anyways, but that's beside the point.
Okay, I hope you guys like that. As I said before, if you're interested, this is the Patreon. This is on my Patreon, which is the Berry Buddies level. So it's super affordable. I'm not offering anything at pricing like this anywhere else. So if you want to get this type of coaching from me without getting into a private coaching relationship, this is the place for you to be. Just give it a try for 1 month. See if it's something that you like. It's only once a month. It's not a huge commitment, okay? So consider it. Patreon.com/thewateringmouth, and this is the Berry Buddies level. I hope to see you in there. And if not, I'll just see you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye!